Royal Canin should be ashamed of themselves, and in this video I am going to explain to you why. Not only I am going to talk about Royal Canin, but I'm also going to talk about Purina and a lot of other veterinary recommended diets. I had a consultation the other day with a lady whose cat was under prescription, quote unquote, of a gastrointestinal food from Royal Canin recommended by the vet. But this doesn't only pertain to cats, it also pertains to dogs. And this particular gastrointestinal product from Royal Canin contained caramelized sugar. Now, I don't know you, but without being an expert, any sugar or sugar derivatives in pet food is absolutely not the best thing to be giving our pets. Whether you are a nutritionist or whether you are a vet, whether you agree or disagree with certain things, we can all agree that sugar fed to our pets is a very, very bad idea. Yet these companies keep on adding sugars, caramelized sugars, sugar or sugar derivatives in pet food, and no one seems to bat an eyelid, and they can get away with it because, hey, they are veterinarian recommended, when in reality a lot of these veterinarians are owned by the very same companies who manufacture these products. My name is Sam, I'm a dog and cat nutritionist and proud owner of a chain of independent pet shops where we will never stock anything with sugar or sugar derivatives from these companies out of principle. Now, hear me out here. The first thing you need to do whenever you look at a gastrointestinal product or any product for your pet is an absence of sugar or sugar derivatives. Why? Well, it doesn't really take a genius. Your dog or cat cannot digest sugar or sugar derivatives very well, obviously, because they are more carnivorous than anything else. If you have a cat, they are obligate carnivores, and feeding them sugar would be like feeding lettuce to a lion, for example. Not only that, your dog or cat cannot make the informed choice. They cannot open the cupboard. They rely on you and me to provide them with the best quality dog food or cat food that we can. And it is incumbent upon you. I am calling you out, and I want you to read every single ingredient you give your pet. Now, it is also my belief that not all ultra-processed food and not all ingredients are bad. So do not be scared whenever you read labels. But for example, if you read things from Royal Canin and it says that it contains wheat gluten or caramelized sugar, I would definitely put that food back because I do not want to be feeding my dog or cat any sugar or sugar derivatives. Let me give you another example. The number one most prescribed hypoallergenic dog food in the United Kingdom recommended by veterinarians in 2025 and beyond is Purina Hypoallergenic HA, and that, my friend, contains sugar. So I do not have to be a dietitian, I don't have to be an expert, I don't have to do anything, but I will never ever give my dog a dog food with sugar. It really is no rocket science here. Now, any veterinarian, anyone who's there trying to defend these companies is really not doing themselves a good favor, because this is indefensible, is reprehensible, this is infuriating, and I think someone needs to speak up, and you need to be accountable for your choices. You need to be accountable for the products you put out. It is no good from Royal Canin or Purina or all of these veterinarian prescription diets or any of these manufacturers to tell us that they want the best for our pets and then be putting sugar derivatives in pet food, to be put in cereals in pet food. And it isn't just Royal Canin or Purina, by the way. Pedigree, which is again owned by the same folks at Royal Canin, these contains cereals, meat and animal derivatives, oils and fats. Your guess is as good as mine what meat and animal derivatives are. Same with these bakers. We have cereals, glycerol, sugars, meat and animal derivatives. If you have a cat, you will feed them Felix maybe, owned by Purina. You have meat and animal derivatives, various sugars. And then with that, you will be doing the same, owned by the same folks. It's all the same company under different brands. They have different products, and this is what they sell you. They sell you meat and animal derivatives, they sell you various sugars, and they sell you cereals. So once again, your dog or cat is not going to be able to open the cupboard. Your dog or cat is not going to be able to say to you, that food is not agreeing with me. It's incumbent upon you to see certain things and to call out these things with your wallet. So do not buy these products. If a veterinarian recommends something with sugar or with wheat gluten, for example, I would absolutely not buy it. If a veterinarian, I go in and they have recommended a cereal-based dog food or cat food, I am not going to feed it to my dog, and I'm going to be very polite about it, but I'm going to refuse to feed my pet anything with sugar or sugar derivatives or wheat gluten or any of these animal fats or natural flavors that are very, very unspecific. And that's one of the reasons why we have put together a free list of how to feed your dog better, and the link will be down below. How to feed your dog better. It will be a pretty clear, a concise set of directions on how you can feed your pet better, irrespective of whether it is a dog or cat. What you do have to understand about some of these companies is the way they have carried their agricultural background and moved it forward with the times. If you ask any farmer what sort of approach they take into feeding the animals, what they are going to tell you is about the minimum amount of protein or the minimum amount of good quality stuff they can feed their animals. And then what they are going to do is examine which maximum yield they are going to get from that minimum input. So minimum input, maximum output. This is why, for example, in the UK, you only have to put 4% meat in a recipe for it to be compliant with certain guides and regulations. It's the same in the US, where you have AFCO, and those guidelines are pretty outdated, and those guidelines, I would say, aren't very good anymore if you scrutinize them. But I don't really have time in this video to go into AFCO regulations because I've already covered them in other videos. So these companies aren't interested in telling you what the best, or to sell you what the best dog food or cat food is what is the minimum amount of input I can get to get the maximum amount of output, instead of cramming as many good ingredients as possible in the recipe and giving your dog or cat the best possible product. They aren't really interested in that. They are more interested in making money. They are more interested in their profit and loss account, and they are more interested in whitewashing everyone. They are a lot more interested into telling people that their science is the best and you should not look at ingredients. You should only look at nutrients, because nutrients is all that matters. Where, for example, in the 90s, we had a breakfast as kids every single day, and it was very, very sugary. But hey, that sugary cereal had all the nutrients and the vitamins and all the antioxidants we needed as kids. Remember that? Well, now is with pet food. This pet food, this kibble here, buy this, it's veterinarian recommended, is you can trust the science, you can trust this, you can trust that. Never mind that caramelized sugar, never mind the wheat gluten, never mind the meat and animal derivatives that are really, really unspecific, and we do not know where they come from because they can change the recipe batch to batch. Never mind all that. Never mind human dietitians who literally spend years training on every single ingredient, how to read labels, how to see whether an ingredient is ultra processed, not ultra processed, whether an ingredient has certain benefits or not. Never mind all that. Look at nutrients. We are different in the pet industry, and because we are different in the pet industry and you're stupid and I'm stupid, then, well, we can just rely on what veterinarians tell us. We can rely on what these companies tell us. And if it says various sugars, if it says caramelized sugar, then yeah, buy it. It's recommended by the vet. It's trusted by 500 in-house vets. It's trusted by the world. It's trusted by everyone. And I'm wrong, and you're wrong, and they are right. And therefore, you should be buying their products. I absolutely disagree. We will never, out of principle, sell any rubbish like this ever. I do not care how many people ask for this. I am never going to sell this. I wouldn't have the cheek to give any of these to my dog. I wouldn't feed my dog anything with sugar without me realizing it contains sugar, or without me realizing it contains cereals. I wouldn't feed my cat various sugars. Are you out of your mind? Have we lost the plot all here? Have we just stopped caring about dogs or cats? Well, actually, no. In my experience, a lot of people, and you too, will be very, very interested in knowing that what you are doing with your pet is the best possible. And so it is my belief that people do care. And whenever you explain things to people, people do listen. And by people listening, they change their habits. And when people change their habits and people buy other products, companies listen, and companies will listen if you stop buying this type of junk and this type of rubbish, and if you stop buying your Royal Canins and your Hilses and your Purina, and you say, I'm not feeding my dog or cat anything with sugar. I am not feeding my dog or cat anything with cereals. I am not feeding my dog or cat anything with wheat gluten or with animal fats or with meat and animal derivatives. I am not doing it. The companies will be forced to change. They will be forced to adapt. But until then, it's only incumbent upon you and me to keep fighting the good fight. And if you agree with me, do let me know in the comments. And if you disagree with me, do let me know in the comments, because I'm always really interested to hear from the other side and from people who tell me that I'm a lunatic from actually reading ingredients and for caring about things like, muscle protein synthesis and mTOR activation. I don't really see any veterinarians. I do not see anyone doing anything with regards to talking about the important key ingredients and the important nutritional measures on something. All I hear is inane, banal things that have nothing to do with actual nutrition. Another thing that is really, really interesting is how a lot of companies try to tell you that they care for your pet, when in reality, whenever they communicate with veterinarians, with their veterinarians, and when they are trying to sell more product, they will actually train their veterinarians on how to guide the conversation. And what guiding the conversation means on these sales letters, which I am a subscriber to, so I am an insider into the actual industry, is how to get you to buy, how to get you to be guided down the garden path that ends by them saying, well, this is a hypoallergenic food, this is a gastrointestinal food, this is a blah 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 food, here you need to take this, Mr. or Mrs. Smith. And you, Mr. or Mrs. Smith, you are there. They are in a position of power, they have the sales training, they have been coached by the companies, and all you are is a recipient of this product. Whether this product is good or bad, we don't really know, do we? Well, we do know because it contains caramelized sugar. And if it contains any of these ingredients, I am going to refuse to give them to my dog. Now, if you are really interested about nutrition and how to feed your dog better, I would actually watch this video next, because I'm going to break it all down there for you.